Tonight on the Elk Season Podcast.
We got wolves roaming around. We always seem to have bears lately. So, and a Hank the Tank update. We've got some elk. Elk season 12 days away.
Ooh.
And does the universe really have it out for my September? Maybe not. Find out all tonight on the Elk Season Podcast.
This is the Elk Season Podcast, dedicated to archery elk, the greatest outdoor sport in North America.
Welcome to the Elk Season Podcast. We are the Chambers Brothers. My name is Harold.
I'm David.
And there is 12 days until elk season. Today is August 17th.
Today is August 17th.
Yeah. 12 days until elk
12.
season starts, which is exactly 2 weeks. Well, it's going to be 2 weeks on Friday. It'll be September 1st by the time I get up in the mountains.
It's coming quick. Coming very quick.
So I have plans to meet Jared Fleury at the trailhead, and my plan is to climb the staircase on Friday. And do you know what your Friday looks like yet?
No, because I have to check in for jury duty.
Oh, on that Friday?
Is that August still?
No, that's September 1st.
Yeah, I start jury duty in September.
September 1st. Okay.
So I actually sent in my little letter, but I haven't heard anything back. So I don't know if I need to call them and be like, "What's up? You told me to send this letter in. What? I need to read my instructions." I don't know. I've never done it before. I want to be a good citizen here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But it's probably going to be like last year. As soon as I can get done on campus, I'm going to get up there late and just hunt Saturday, Sunday,
all right.
Monday morning.
Yeah, we'll have some cold beer for you.
Yeah.
It's just a good time. That's all we want to do is be safe. Opening weekend, we just want to be safe and we want to get our legs under us.
Yeah. And hopefully I don't have any complications with said medical issue.
Yeah, you want to give an update on your medical issue or do you not?
It's just a hernia in my groin, and it kind of flares up with exertion and hiking particularly. That's where it started. But, I don't have a lot of problems with it, and it seems like if I wear a good tight belt, it seems to hold itself in place. And I won't have any late season hunts this year because I'll have surgery right around the time that the 55 opens. But I know. Doctor's like, once you have this, you're like you can lift like 5 pounds for 2 weeks and then 10 pounds for 2 more weeks. And
wow.
And so it's like, all right, whatever. Just wanted to get it done before Christmas, get it over with, move on with life so I can get back to the rehabilitation process, get back to hiking.
Yeah, that's okay. If you're going to have surgery, November's the time to do it.
Yeah. Because
you got 11 months before elk season comes around to heal up and get ready.
Correct. I'm not going to argue with that one.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, I haven't had any medical issues, knock on wood, yet. I'm sure when they come, they'll come in droves.
I'm pretty sure my September has had a target on its back all year.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm going to be non-committal on purpose just because
I'm
afraid to be committed.
That is so great. I have some really, really good news for you.
Okay, good.
Really
I could
good.
use some good news.
Have you seen, because it's almost available, the weather forecast for Ketchum for September 1st?
I have not.
It is available. Highs in the low 70s.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Labor Day weekend.
That is going to be a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
It is going to be heaven. If you get one weekend, it's not going to be bad. It's not going to be ruined by 80 degrees on the mountain. It's not. It's going to be below freezing at night, I promise.
But we might get snowed out.
That has happened before on Labor Day weekend.
Yes, it has.
It has happened before, and we might have some storms. We might have a good time with some good buddies.
And that's the point.
What we're there for.
That's the point. Hunting.
But it's so hard. It's so hard. Even if you were like, well, we can't go hunting today. It's too hot. Well, we'll just hang out in the tent. No, it's too hot in the tent too.
Yeah.
But when it's snowing, hey baby, it's a snow day.
Yeah.
Let's drink some beer and make some stew and watch some movies and make a time of it. That's what you do. So the weather's looking really, really awesome. I really comfortable hiking weather.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I've been keeping an eye on that. I always like that 10, 15 day forecast to see how things are going to be.
And I'm excited for lighted knocks, man.
Yeah.
I've just
It's fun to watch them.
Yeah.
It's fun to see him hit the target. Yeah.
But so if I get
Did you refletch my arrows yet?
I gave them to you. I gave them to you.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Because when we went on another hike, and then I was delusional from the hike.
Yeah, it's all right.
So I don't remember. Yeah, okay, I got him. Sweet. Okay. You had to think for a while, though, didn't you?
Well, put me on the spot. You were like attacking me, like, I got to go hunting. So where? I'm like, hey, it was a free service.
I attacked you.
I'm being facetious.
I know. I have an iPhone.
Ooh.
So I feel attacked. I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. Elk season.
Even if I only get a day up there, I'm happy to be up there.
Yeah. Elk season is it's for so many years. It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas Eve when you're a kid, when you're an 8-year-old. It's like trying to fall asleep on Christmas Eve when you're 8.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. Elk season's here. It's here. It's finally here. I'm in the mountains.
I think I've trained myself to get away from staying up and too excited. I'm excited to be there, but I think I've finally gotten to the point where I can fall asleep and get a good night's sleep. Because there's been too many times where I have not gotten a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
In fact, that caused me to miss an opportunity because I fell asleep.
Yeah.
On that spike we've talked about on the podcast. Look up the previous episode. I think it was season 1 and season 2. I think we talked about it a couple different places.
And I'm sure we will again. But if you get in a good hike, if you're able to get in a good hike before you have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, because I know I've been there. I'm like, I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm going to be. I just gone. Yeah. So when I hike in, like last year, we hiked in Labor Day.
Yeah.
And we're not doing that this year.
No, we're not doing the hike
and that's
thing. Okay.
With the crew we got.
It would be more acceptable weather-wise this year.
Yeah.
So I'm sad for that, but health-wise, I better play it safer.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
you evacuating me to the ER because
I like backpacking in, but I like cabin. I like base camp too.
Yeah.
Base camp's nice. And you come down if you say, "Man, that was a long day. We can go ahead and sleep in." And it's a rule. If your body needs rest, let it rest. Yeah, and it's because safety's number one.
Health, feeling good, psychologically, phically, you want to be at your best.
Yeah,
it's really respect for yourself and the animals to be at your best.
Yeah.
So
I have another friend that I'm going hunting with this year. I haven't gone hunting with him before.
Yeah,
and
you told me you've gone prospecting with him.
No.
It's a different person. Sorry.
So yeah, Tony that I'm going prospecting with this weekend. He's been elk hunting with me in 36A.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I cross-contaminated
That's
stories
okay.
there.
Anyways, well, so this new guy, Lance, he's a guy from the gym. We're doing a CrossFit competition next weekend. So no podcast next Thursday because I'm gone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
right. So this is the last podcast before hunting season.
Yeah. So, holy jeez. On that note, we may have a mid-season podcast. We may be able to manage a mid-season podcast with some new equipment that I'm going to order. So I'll try and get that in and get that tuned up and see what we can do.
Yes,
because that would be
fabulous.
Stellar. Yeah. So with that, so we're going into a new area, an area I have never been before. But just like where I placed the trail cameras last year, I had never been there. I used the same criteria. I showed you where we're going to go.
Yeah.
I'm like, we know there's elk in the area. I feel very confident, and I'm excited to see a new area.
Yeah.
And this year, I actually have 5 weekends. I can go 5 weekends.
Yeah, lucky.
Well,
you've done well for yourself.
The last weekend, I can only go to Saturday. Right?
Okay.
But there's one Friday that I won't get up there till almost midnight, I'm sure. Because I have to do a work thing over in Boise on a Friday.
Yeah.
So it is not going to be as much time as I got to spend last year. But I'm looking forward to it, and I'm really looking forward to putting some cameras up in some bear areas, hopefully in some bear areas.
Yeah.
And maybe glassing and maybe hunting a bear. I would love to hunt a bear. I know there's bears up where we go.
Yeah.
And not that this is the bear season podcast.
But you would suspect based on some of our last few episodes.
Well, there's just bears up there.
And there's a lot of bears in the news.
We buy the sportsman's package.
Yeah.
And the sportsman package is a bear tag, a wolf tag, a lion tag, an elk tag, and a deer tag, and a salmon tag, and a turkey tag, and steelhead tags, and upland game, and your bow stamp, and it's $135. Right? Or $132.50 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I guess so after tax.
So, yeah, it's $135, $140, whatever. Who cares, right? Just here's my money. Sure.
Take my money.
Well, like I said, if they charged me 10 times that, if it was $1,500, I would be like, okay. I would find a way every year to pay it. Wow. I know that I would. I know that I would. And because I know these out-of-staters do. I know that's what they pay. And I'm glad they pay it and not me.
Yeah.
But if I had to, I would. I'm really glad that I don't. You know, you as an Idaho resident, you can buy a lifetime sportsman's package for $1,000.
Really?
Yeah. Pays for itself in like 7 years.
No joke, right?
Really? Yeah. Yeah. So it might be like $1,099 or something. There's some lifetime sportsman's package. That. Yeah. Just always included. So we have and a wolf. I know we've seen wolves up where we hunt.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
But wolf tracks.
Saw a coyote last time we were hiking.
Yeah. So. And plenty of elk up there too.
Yeah. Lots of elk.
Yeah.
I agree that wolves have an impact on the elk, but I disagree to the rhetoric that's out there on how that's impacting them, because I just don't see it, because I've seen the wolves and I've seen the elk and I see elk that I can hunt, and I just don't. I'm conflicted, I guess, with the other stories.
It's a difficult thing to see, because like if someone loses weight and you don't see them for 10 years, you're like, oh my gosh, you lost 150 pounds. But if they only lost a half a pound a day, they don't notice. As the wolf population grows, they started consuming more and more elk. It's not something that you notice. But statistically, 30,000 elk a year are killed by wolves, which is 10,000 or more than sportsmen in the state of Idaho.
Yeah.
Just statistically. That's roughly, there's roughly 1,500 wolves. They kill, one wolf kills about 20 elk a year, roughly.
Wow. Sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
I apologize if anybody's watching and I look tired. Yeah. I'm kind of tired today.
Yeah, David's back to work. Back to the job. Oh,
summer break is over. The life of an instructor.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
What?
You'll get some good exercise, some good mind clearing. There's nothing that clears your mind and your spirit and your soul like a hike in elk season.
I look forward to it every year because it just kind of gets me in the zone.
Yeah. To just to know that I've been there. Yeah. I look forward to it all year, and I need to know that I've been there. But also too, for some reason, at 9,000 feet in the Rockies, I can see my life from 30,000 feet.
Yeah.
And I'm so displaced from my regular life. I'm so far away from my regular life. I can view it with a little bit better context, with some different perspective. And being high on the mountain during elk season means a lot to me. Not just being around the elk. So that's very helpful.
It's the physical aspects of it that helps you increase your lung capacity, the oxygen absorption, all the exercise, the cardio. It all improves brain function and body function, and it just rejuvenates. So even if you're not an avid aggressive hiker like we tend to be, where we put those camera trail cams, still getting out and just walking. That's why you see a lot of stories about walking is just as good as, because just getting out and moving, your body was built to move. So being an instructor, you can find yourself sitting too often. So you got to get out and move. So I really look forward to September.
And you find time in your day though to go for walks around campus, don't you?
Yeah.
Or you have. I've found that very rewarding, right?
Yeah, and I did that today.
Oh, good. Good.
And I actually have this cute little smartwatch. Sorry. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I can't even think of what I'm wearing.
Little.
It's a white wine spritzer. That's a watch, sir. That's not anything to do with spritz. Anyway, so this thing has actually kept me moving. like, because I have a little indicator on it and it shows me, you know, have I met my goals for today?
Right.
And even though I had that on my phone before, because my phone's in my pocket or I leave it somewhere,
it's not data right in front of your face, out of sight, out of mind.
This thing will actually, like yesterday I was in, we had a keynote speaker. I was sitting down and about halfway through my wrist buzzes and I'm like, oh, stupid alerts or whatever. Right. I look down and it's like, there's 2 little feet going like this. And it says, maybe you should start moving.
You've been sitting too long.
So, not now. I'll do it later. Yeah. But no, it's got me moving more, and I'm appreciative of that because I will take the time. I will make the time if I don't have a certain goal met. I'm gonna. So I don't know that I'm gonna wear it hunting because I don't know that I need to.
Right.
But I like tracking it when I have more of my idle life going, you know, grading papers or doing whatever. So.
Yeah. I mean, good for you.
Anyway, sorry for that.
No, and I got stuff I got to do at work that I just have to go blind doing. I just have to get through this. And when you're done, you're like, did I even do that? I've done it so many times, day after day. It's just the same repetitive tasks. You're like, I hope I did that.
Yeah.
But we have elk season coming up. I'm going to get out a bunch of weekends. Dang it, I had something.
That wasn't me this time that interrupted.
Something at the top of my head there that I forgot. But I guess I want to. The family reunion.
Yeah,
that's where I was. I made it to the family reunion.
I was unable to make it.
Our family has a family reunion where we go to our ancestral home ground near Helena, Montana, and have a camp out.
Yeah,
and it was quite interesting. You know, I think you get those alerts from your watch. You ever get those alerts from your watch that says you're in a loud environment?
I haven't yet.
Okay, well that only went off once. So that was good. One of our sisters only brought 12 of her kids. So it was kind of quiet. I kid. It was great. Driving through Montana this time of year is like falling in love. If you like the feeling of falling in love,
sure,
take a drive through Montana. That's what it means to me.
Sure. That's a good analogy. I can't argue that one.
Because every step is beautiful and novel. It's like I haven't seen it before, and it's so familiar.
Yeah.
And I took a really long drive in the Big Belt Mountains, where I saw the largest herd of elk, my first elk killed, my first elk bugle, and my first backpacking trip, all in the Big Belt Mountains. I took a drive. It took me 2 hours, and I came out not the same road I went in on, and I remember it, and I know it, and I've done it before, and it wasn't as familiar as as I thought it would be. But it was good. It was good for the memory. And Ozzy went with me, my 6-year-old son.
Nice. Got
to sit on my lap a little bit and drive down some mountain roads, and so that was good. We went into Helena and we got to spend some time at the Great Northern Carousel. If you've ever heard of that, the old bridge that went between Carroll College and the YMCA. Yeah. That old bridge got taken down.
Yeah, it's flattened.
And they use some of that railroad space now. Has some prime real estate because it's downtown. At downtown Helena. And so now there's a carousel. One of the highest rated carousels. Oh, someone's here.
Yeah. How about that?
One of the highest rated carousels in the country. All right, sorry, you're gonna have to edit that out. I was that's okay. I was ending with the we were talking about the carousel in Helena.
Yeah,
and it's just the family reunion to Helena.
Yeah,
which let's see, the family okay. I got a chance to sit around. The Perseids peaked. We got to see a bunch of meteorites.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Or meteor, I guess is what it would be. A meteorite is
hits.
What a meteorite hits the ground.
Yeah.
A meteor is what you see, and what's the one in space?
Asteroid.
Is it a meteoroid, a meteorite, and a meteor?
You know what? I'm going to have to get back to you. I've got a very qualified individual I could check in with.
The Perseids peaked. Anyways, we got a chance to sit around the fire. When I went on my big, long 2-hour drive with Ozzy through the mountains, for nostalgia's sake, I found, you look for firewood. You're always looking for firewood.
Oh, yeah.
So I found a really nice old stump. Big enough that I could just heave it in the back of the truck. And I brought that and a bunch of other wood that Ozzy and I had gathered up.
Yeah.
And took it back to camp. We got to sit around the campfire and just listen, tell some stories and listen to some stories. And Stephanie had some great stories, and
awesome.
Roy had some good stories. Jane had some good stories. I was telling some stories, and just time around the campfire with the people you grew up with.
Yeah,
it's just fun. So it was a good family reunion, and driving through Montana, like I said, just the wide open spaces. It's just the wide open spaces. It's something different.
I saw a couple of ranches show up in my YouTube feed. One near Wisdom.
Yeah.
I forgot to send you that link. I'll have to remember to do that, but it just...
Yeah. I actually watched a sort of a documentary on YouTube this week about people trying to put the Missouri Breaks between Fort Peck Reservoir and Great Falls.
Okay.
If you can imagine a giant square the size of Delaware.
Yeah.
I mean, huge.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it a gigantic preserve with buffalo, restored with buffalo.
Oh, that would be amazing.
It would be.
I mean, there's a lot of butts here, but...
And there's a lot. They're doing a lot of really great things. It was really interesting. There are some cowboys or some actual cowboy ranches that feel displaced by that.
Yeah.
And certainly they will. Cowboy is a tradition that's going to live for a long time because we're always going to have cows out here, and we're always going to need cattle wranglers.
Open range.
It's not going to be something that's going to die. But so they feel sort of pushed out. But what they're doing is it's a nonprofit, and they're taking in money, and they're buying ranches. And they're just turning it back into prairie.
Wow.
I don't know what they do with the buildings. That's got to be a frustrating point. But most of the land, from what I understand, is just returned to this giant project where they want to get a lot more buffalo out there. And there will be grizzly bears there.
Oh yeah.
If
there's a food
already,
source.
Yeah. So big buffalo that drowned in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Oh, that is calories. Yeah.
Delish.
Yeah. And as you drive through Montana, as you go from Whitehall to Three Forks, you go past a place called Buffalo Jump. You remember the diorama in?
Yes. I got a picture of it last year.
Yeah. So there's one of those buffalo jumps where the Native Americans would run buffalo off cliffs, and they would just find so many bones, just so many bones piled up there, so many calories. Like 3 or 4 elk would equal one buffalo.
Yeah,
one American bison.
They're amazing creatures.
Yeah, so huge. So that was an interesting story to see. They said we want to save the prairie.
Yeah,
and they said we're sorry we said save. Right, we want to restore. We're not saving it from anybody. Right, it's not in danger.
Yeah.
So some people were upset that they used the word save, but it was just an interesting insight into, because she said, the American prairie really is the American Serengeti.
Yeah.
And I read a book called The American Serengeti.
We've talked about that.
Yeah. So it was nice to put those pieces together and say, oh, American Serengeti could still exist in Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be cool. And Fort Peck. Oh, Fort Peck on the Missouri.
I haven't been up that far, but
yeah.
In fact, I always thought the Missouri Breaks were somewhere else. I don't know why I always thought they couldn't exist in reality where they existed in my head, because geologically it doesn't make sense. I always thought they were like South Central.
Oh, really?
Nowhere near the Missouri.
Oh.
And I don't know why. So it was only in the I know.
Yeah.
I'm this old in life.
Yeah.
But it was only in the last couple of podcasts when it came full circle, when we were talking about the grizzly bears and the return. So it was that grizzly bear book that it finally dawned on me. Oh,
the breaks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you look at the mountains in Idaho, and I know, I believe you and I have made, at least together, have made this comparison, or I have. If you drive up the mountains in Idaho, if you take Gibbonsville Road, right out of just north of Salmon, it's steep and windy, and it's just steep.
Yeah.
And you get into Montana, and the road rolls out.
Yep, it's
much softer,
completely different place.
And it's like that in a lot of different places where Idaho's steep and rugged, and of course Idaho's known for its whitewater.
Yeah,
because it has steep mountains.
Yep,
and really good whitewater because the water runs fast down steep mountains.
Yep,
but so the difference is, and the way the hills roll away from the Rockies is broken by a million different streams that feed into the Missouri. Those are the Missouri breaks. It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe I'll read the Wikipedia and be able to be more articulate.
It's all good. Seemed like there was something else I wanted to say about the camp trip, but even though I wasn't there, but hopefully I can return in good form in the future camp trips. But it turned out, and this is insult to injury.
Okay.
We had already made our plans. I did other camp trips with my family.
Yeah.
I had something that I was sort of obligated for here in Twin Falls, and I needed to kind of be here for it. Got canceled 2 days prior.
Oh, suck.
But it's all good.
Right.
It's all good. I still couldn't believe it. I was like, really? All right. So, should we go to our
let's
headlines?
Let's go to the conservation news. There's
just
one particular story I want to talk a lot about, and that is of the radio-collared wolf that traveled almost
200 miles,
2,000 miles, 2,900 miles.
We'll start with him then
through Alaska. The 200-mile wolf. The 200-mile wolf story is 200 miles into California.
Yeah, and I think I have that same story. So
okay,
We'll start with the 3,000 mile.
The 3,000 mile wolf, and this is just a cool story. Just a bunch of cool data.
Is he infected with toxoplasmosis?
I don't know, but he starved to death. He died. He never found a mate.
Wow.
He was a lone wolf. He traveled through dozens of other wolves' territory. And he wasn't killed by those other packs. He didn't alert them. But he didn't join them. He didn't find a mate. At one point, he found what they thought would be a mate because they saw him traveling with someone. And then later, that other wolf died, and he was alone again.
Wow.
And he crossed the Yukon River.
Jeez.
The Yukon River is nasty. And he not only did he cross it when there was ice in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he has this crazy story of traveling all the way across the Yukon River. If you cross the Yukon River, he went all the way to the North Shore, all the way to Prudhoe Bay.
Wow.
And then hung a left. He almost went to Prudhoe Bay, hung a left, went all the way, all the way to Russia. He went towards the coastal mountains. Then he went back into the Brooks Range.
Traveled the Aleutian Islands. Went through this.
And based on the data, they know if a wolf kills something big, it stays there for a while. It stays there for a little bit. And they know that this guy, all he ever ate was small rodents and stuff he could kill on his own.
That was an interesting thing in Never Cry Wolf. How he documented the wolves going after all the small rodents.
Yeah, because they were worried about the caribou in the movie Never Cry Wolf.
Yeah,
but they didn't know about the migrations.
Yeah.
They're like, the wolves are here and all the caribou are gone. Well, it must have been the wolves. Well, wait till the migration comes back. Anyway.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it was just a fantastic story. We think we know wolves. We think we know wild animals.
Yeah.
Right. And we try to pigeonhole nature, which is a big mistake.
Yeah, because how many times have we been surprised and sort of enlightened by animal behavior?
Yeah.
From the
pronghorn predators.
Yeah.
2 different pronghorn predators after we said, hey, there's no natural predators for pronghorn.
And even pronghorn shedding antlers.
Yeah.
And there's something about bear pads today.
Yeah.
So there's just all the stuff that if we can just keep our minds a little more open, I think it will help because there's a lot we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to find out. I don't know what we're going to find out about grizzly bears.
Yeah.
I mean, a grizzly bear went from Missoula to Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
Undetected. Unreported, I guess. Somebody sees a bear and just doesn't report it.
That's a good way to say it, I would say. You would say. So should we segue to grizzlies then?
Sure, we got some. Yeah, that was all I wanted to say about the wolf. Was it just they had a lot of data from him, and he was really weird, like was it Ethel or something?
Yeah,
the grizzly that went over 2,000 miles.
And we've talked about the wolves in Northern California, but they're just they're farther down than people thought.
Yes, yeah.
But we'll just segue into grizzlies. So there was a relocating a grizzly bear in Wyoming.
Yeah.
What do you know about that one?
I just know that it's a grizzly bear in Wyoming.
Is that the same one that was just relocated near the park?
No, this was out by Cody, Wyoming, a little bit further. I guess there's a Cody entrance, isn't there?
Well, so no, I guess there's two of them here. They must be similar stories. So grizzly has been relocated in the Cody area, and then a couple slides later it says an adult female grizzly has been relocated from the area outside Cody to a remote park in the wilderness. I don't know if those are related. So
maybe that is the same. Cody and outside Cody. I doubt there was a grizzly bear in Cody.
Right. Cody might be in the grizzly bear.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor Cody.
I'm sorry for that one. Seeing a bear on your way to work, man. Stemple Pass.
Stemple Pass Road. This is a fun road. This is a fun story to talk about. Because Stemple Pass Road is the road that we would take from Helena to Lincoln, Montana.
Yeah.
When the Unabomber still lived there.
Yeah.
Because the Kaczynski mailbox was on Stemple Pass Road.
Yeah. I know that you don't remember it, but for whatever reason, I think it's because I was riding side saddle.
Yeah.
And I was out on the side of the vehicle that would always see the mailbox. And I remember asking you, what kind of name is that on the mailbox?
Yeah, it's funny. My guy at work called me Broski the other day. I go, do you think I'm Polish?
That's funny.
It's like, I just call you Broski.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it might be Polish. I don't know.
Kaczynski? We didn't know. He is Polish.
Oh, is
his parents are Polish immigrants.
Oh, okay.
But we just didn't know. We were just Montana boys. We're like, that name seems out of place. It wasn't, but it just was.
Yeah, but you could see it was written.
Yeah,
like white lettering is what I remember.
I don't remember the lettering so much. I just know that there's those shots and previews that don't show up in the shows or movies. Yeah. There's the Discovery Channel miniseries on Kaczynski.
Yeah.
There was a preview to that with a kid on a bike that rides up to the mailbox.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, that kid was my age and I had a bike, and it sent chills down my spine because I'm like, oh my gosh, that was.
Well, it was a double mailbox.
Yeah,
right?
I thought it was like a
Yeah,
lineup.
there was two mailboxes there.
A couple of them, yeah. So anyway, it's just kind of cool stuff.
Funny memories. We grew up in the same county the Unabomber lived in.
How about that? And probably even came across him. Did I tell you in his own words, the documentary on Netflix?
Yeah.
He's interviewed, I think the one and only time, and he's recorded by a female a lady reporter.
Okay.
And he requested her specifically, and he just tells his stories of being the Unabomber and living out there in Lincoln.
Wow.
And he talks about coming across a couple of teenage, maybe college age, young college freshman age boys squirrel hunting.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah. And he had a quick interaction, and I'm like, I wouldn't have been with him, but that sounds like it could have been Harold and
Slim. That was me and Slim. We went there all the time. We went to Lincoln all the time. Back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Early 90s.
So,
in fact, funny story. Funny story. We had a bunch of we're tired because we've been out hunting, and so we're giggly, and we're buying snacks, and there's no sales tax in Montana. So if you can find a snack in the shelf for $0.25, it costs $0.25. You don't have to worry about the sales tax.
Yeah.
So he gets all this. Slim gets these armfuls of junk food up to the counter, and he's 25 cents short. And we're already, and I got an armful of crap too, and I'm like on my way out the door. And he's got an armful of crap at the counter. And he goes, hey, man, you got $0.25? And I go, no, but I got an eighth. Right? Like an eighth of weed.
Yeah.
And we start giggling. And he's like, don't say that to me when I'm standing here looking for money and I got all this armful of snacks. Anyway. And I just left. I go, no, but I got an eighth. And I said, see you later. And he comes out going, how could you leave me hanging like that? Anyway.
So... crazy.
Yeah, but I don't.
You say you never remember having coming. I mean, he said it was just a quick said hi to them, and they kept going, and there's just nothing to the interaction.
We would just go up any dirt road we could find. When Slim would come visit, we'd go any dirt road we can find and shoot whatever squirrel that would pop its head out. Slim brought some black powder, a black powder rifle, and we had fun shooting that over by Lincoln one time. But that was just one of our hangouts.
So
wow, it could be.
Yeah,
it could have been us.
And then he passed away in June. So did you know that bears?
Kaczynski. Slim passed away in 2017. Anyway,
sorry. Important. All right. Important clarification.
I'm still here.
Did you know that bears shed a particular part of their body?
No, I did not know this.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
Searching for bears in Alaska, they found an unusual body part. And it looks like, to me, if you come across this, you're going to be like, oh, a bear died, and this is all that's left. Its paw. It was scavenged by a bunch of... No.
Yeah.
Bear pads, after a long winter or something like that, they get out and they start moving around. Their pads are like shriveled up, and they're growing new pad underneath it, and it'll just fall off, and you'll actually find...
Like a molt.
Yeah, a molt. It's kind of like the way that the pronghorn will lose their antlers here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, their horns.
Yeah,
they kind of molt off.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, whoa, this is when you think you know something about them, there's still a lot you don't know.
So much.
So I was actually came across this. Hold on, do I have any more? I have a Hank the Tank update.
Yeah, you found this update right after the podcast last week.
Yeah, like I think it was the same night. You left, and I was like, oh my gosh, we just talked about Hank the Tank.
What's up with Hank?
Hank the Tank is actually a female.
Of course he is.
So, and she has a new home. So they captured Hank.
Oh, poor Hank.
And moved her.
Yeah.
So.
What's a female name that rhymes with tank? I don't know. That's a dumb question.
Why can't...
I've asked dumber, but that's a pretty dumb question.
Yeah. So anyway, and speaking of bears, staying in that vein, we just have a few more stories here.
Yeah.
A house. So video cameras and trail cams are cool.
Yeah.
But like Ring cameras and security cameras at homes are catching things all the time.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about that and had some images. And I don't have a great image with this one, but it's the headline, and it's just that this retriever chases a bear away from a 4-year-old boy. And it was a golden retriever. Yeah. And that hit home with me because I've got a golden retriever. You know what I know she would do?
Oh, yes, she would. She would eat that bear alive.
We would not. She would chase that bear and either die by the paws of that bear, or she would just keep chasing. We'd lose our dog by proxy.
Yeah.
She might still live, but we would never see her again. She would not stop.
It's funny
defending us.
It's funny when that trigger comes, right? It's like when a bear sees a bicycle.
Yeah.
It's a trigger.
Yeah.
That's for real, man.
Yeah. We took because we weren't able to go to the family camp, we took our dog to our camps that we went otherwise. And we were nervous about it because we were going to board her, but we're like, why board the dog that can come out with? So we took her out, and she did so well. But I talked about the deer experience in the first camp, and the second camp, there wasn't any deer to speak of, but I was a little bit more nervous because we've seen wolves up there, and there wasn't anything too exciting, but she really owned it this time, and she was like kind of going around, and she was looking for the squirrels and looking for the birds, but she just kind of marked her circle around the camp. She just kept kind of keep.
Yeah, those golden retrievers are good like that.
She's
good family dogs,
and she's vicious, folks. Don't let the golden retriever
a vicious animal
fool you.
There's plenty of wolf hiding in that dog.
Oh yeah,
plenty of wolf.
Yeah. Her favorite stuffed animal that we got it for her when she was a puppy was a little tiny fox.
Yeah.
And she chewed it up. And so every Christmas we buy her a new Foxy, is what we call it. And she'll chew that thing to shreds. The current Foxy that we have out here, she's torn it to shreds in a way that she pulled all the stuffing out of it, but it's still intact. I should show you.
She still chews on it.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, a fox toy, she tears to pieces. Her other toys, she doesn't. She's got a favorite toy, and it's like, and I know I'm anthropomorphizing, but clearly the dog favors this particular toy. It's like a little, I want to say like a groundhog.
Okay.
If you look at it sitting up, it looks like a little groundhog sitting up out of its hole.
Oh yeah.
That's her favorite toy, and she's killed several of those.
Yeah, she has.
So it's like, what does that mean? But it's kind of cool.
Wow.
But she will, if she needs something comfort, like she got home from being boarded when we went to Boise last weekend.
Yeah.
First thing she does, she goes and grabs that toy.
Really?
That's her comfort toy.
Wow.
She'll bring it to bed with her.
Interesting.
Yeah. We've even seen our dog. We have a little bin out in the living room. And I don't think I've pointed this out to you.
No.
It's a little tiny square bin. We've watched her put her toys away.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting behavior.
Yeah.
Interesting behavior.
So
I want to know where this is later. Yeah, for later.
It's crazy. She's just a good puppy. All right. Mackey Reservoir and the Lost River Valley. Tell me about this. This is a really cool picture of this reservoir.
Just a picture, but it tells a really big picture because that is that's elk country. That Mackey, Idaho is top of the world. Mackey is the different. Mackey is on the divide between the Salmon River Basin and the Snake River Basin.
Yeah.
And it's out there by Bora.
Yeah, it's just
the highest mountain in Idaho. Yeah. And so Mackey's the top of the world. And the water, we talked about the water situation in Utah and Southern California this year. And we were kind of looking at decent snowpack and a decent summer this year where we hunt and where we are. But this shows us that we're still not there.
Yeah. You can see there's
recovery still needed. Yeah. And the same thing when you see pictures of Lake Mead and Lake Powell. There's a lot still there. A lot still there.
There's a lot of thirsty people in the world.
Yeah.
Something cool is
a hurricane is about to hit San Diego.
Yeah, I saw that.
The first time in 100 or the third time in 170 years or something years.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I just saw that before the podcast, and I'm like, they were talking about it impacting Nevada and Arizona.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering what will it push up into Utah and Idaho?
Yeah.
Possibly. So curious.
Tiny little micro storms that will hit some of those canyon lands and wash things away. So there could be something. There could be some good moisture that comes for it.
Yeah,
comes with it.
That's kind of what we'll see what happens.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's gonna make us snowed out
on
Labor Day weekend.
If the hurricane could somehow avoid land and go up the Gulf of California.
Yeah.
The Gulf of California is a full 20-25 degrees hotter than the coast of the Gulf of California.
Wow.
I mean, the outside coast. I mean, that water is so much warmer and all that energy, it could build and build. Anyways, so it's for some Hollywood producer to figure out, not me.
That's the next Hollywood destruction movie. Trail from Stanley to Redfish Lake is open.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So there was some people trying to stop this. We've talked about this on the podcast before.
That's right.
And so now they've finally opened it. And it says something very important in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. E-bikes are not allowed.
No e-bikes. Thank you for catching that quick.
Yeah. No,
quick. No e-bikes. An e-bike is a motorcycle. I love cycling. I love e-bikes. But e-bike is a motorcycle.
It is a motorcycle.
And there's some places they should be allowed and some places they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So anyways, that looks like a really nice trail. That goes all the way from Stanley all the way up to Redfish Lake.
Yeah.
And I bet it is a breathtaking walk or ride.
I would like to take my bike.
Yeah.
I know I'm worried about bears, but I would love to take my bike.
Yeah. Well, there's no grizzlies anyway. And, you bring somebody that's slower on a bike. And
that's true.
You got all those kids.
This picture has got me confused, but it's also kind of cool. It's a picture of a wolverine.
Yeah. Ooh. This is out of the 406 out of Montana.
Okay.
This is, I think the page says the 406.
It's at a bait station, apparently. But
yes.
It looks like it's in a tree, though.
Yeah.
So I was just confused because it looked like it's levitating behind this tree.
Yeah, a bait station in a tree. It's just in the Sealy Swan area. If you want to, something that never ceases to take my breath away. If you drive north out of Missoula towards Kalispell, you have to go through a little canyon and a little pass, and you come up just before the town of Polson. And just when you pull up there, you see the Mission Mountains, and they are big. The Mission Mountains just outside of Polson are just breathtaking. You're like, how can people live here?
Wow.
It's so beautiful. The Mission Mountains. So the Mission Mountains are just so big. And over the Mission Mountains, before you get to the Bob Marshall, is the Sealy-Swanett Valley. That's where this picture's taken.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, and then, Polson, Montana. Anyway.
So, follow me if you can. I hope I made good sense in my head. I've got a method to my madness here. So I'm going to go to this new state record. Youth takes massive elk in Virginia's first elk hunt.
Okay.
It's a big bull. It is. I see a rifle there.
Yeah.
But you know.
But it's elk in Virginia.
I don't want to take anything away from the process. You know, no matter how you get them down, you got to get them out.
I had one of my videos on TikTok get a bunch of likes this week that I published more than a year ago.
Nice.
It was the top 5 responses to when people ask you, why don't you use a rifle? Right?
Yeah.
The number one, what do you tell a good friend? I say, if I want cheap, easy. First of all, I say, you light beer drinking sack of skunk piss. If I want cheap, easy meat, I'll go to Costco. That's how you treat a good friend. If your boss wants to know, why don't you hunt with a rifle? I say, rifle. Yeah. My mom hunts with a rifle.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
A guy at church, you go, well, I was raised to believe that if you couldn't kill it with a bow, it probably doesn't deserve to die. Right? So there's just a bunch of dumb rifle jokes.
That's good.
Anyway.
So you have a piece of gear here. So I don't know if it was meant to be left in here. It's about a tripod, lightest hunting tripod.
Yeah, I need a new tripod. I don't like lugging that thing around. It is so heavy. That big tripod I have. It's nice, but it's big. So I saw a couple of tripods. This was to remind me of, hey, look for a different tripod, because something that this tripod does, you can see that grip stance on it. You can put a grip on it and adjust it, and as soon as you let go, it tightens up.
Okay.
So you can kind of grab it, and as you adjust it, all you have to do is when you get on something, just let go, and it locks in place. And you say, "Okay, I found something. Come and look."
Cool. That seems like it would be worth. And this picture just has the person using binoculars, and I'm just like, even I'm like, you noticed that I've started using sticks and things to hold my binoculars up because
my shoulders get tired. I want to glass a lot.
Yeah.
Our success is dependent upon a lot of glassing.
Yeah.
And my poor little CrossFit shoulders get tired.
Yeah, I've got a little fixture that I put on the top of my trekking poles, and I can just put my binoculars on it, which is very helpful.
Yeah, and the spotting scope. What I like about the not the spotting scope, but the phone scope, using the phone scope, is a new stand like that where I could release it, because as the elk move and I'm filming them, I would like to be able to move with it. But it's so difficult when you're zoomed in so far. You move one little bit and you're on a different mountain.
Yep.
So having a way to make micro adjustments would be nice.
Yeah. So speaking of good gear and elk season being 12 days away.
Ooh, baby.
PSA from Idaho Fish and Game,
Yeah.
Start planning your hunt.
Yeah. What does it say? It says on there sponsored. Idaho Fish and Game paid money to make sure I saw that.
Oh.
It says sponsored.
Yeah, well, I think that's
it's great. I'm glad they're recruiting. That's what we want to do. We want more people. We want more people in outdoor sports.
Yeah.
And archery elk is the ultimate outdoor sport, but there's a lot of other ones that are fun too.
And the advertising is needing to be spent.
Yeah.
Because as we've talked about, COVID sent everybody outdoors.
Yeah.
Hunting and camping.
Yeah.
But hunters dropped off. Campers did not.
Yeah.
And so there was an uptick in sales and activity for hunting, but now there's a drop in those dollars coming in, and hopefully we can get that figured out so that we can maintain and conserve and have these opportunities to be out in the wilderness.
And one of the most important aspects in my belief for hunters is for hunters to recruit other hunters.
Yeah.
Hunting needs more hunters. If you know somebody who wants to hunt, who likes to hunt, who wants to go hunt, if you can go hunt with them, we just need more hunters. It's a tradition that's fading away.
Yeah.
And
but if I recruit more hunters, there's going to be less for me to hunt.
Nah. You need every voice you can get in this fight, because there's so many campers out there that might be against it.
Yeah.
There's so many other groups that have interests in our wild places, and if we don't stand up,
Well, I understand that, but but what about my opportunities to hunt? They're going to be encroached on by all these people that I recruit. I'm just playing devil's advocate because
I appreciate that.
I've had these attitudes before, and I don't anymore, and I want the same thing.
Yeah,
because I've learned even where we go hunting, we have taken pictures of the trucks at the trailhead.
Yeah,
and I've got a picture of like 14 trucks.
Yeah,
and we didn't see one person,
not a soul. Not a soul. But seeing 14 trucks at the trailhead is a little depressing.
It can be.
But you don't see a soul when you're out hunting. And even when you do, the interactions are usually pretty chill.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
So let's
recruit sportsmen.
Let's bring them in.
If you know anybody that wants to archery hunt, take them.
Yeah.
Go with them. Yeah.
All right. So I misplaced this last article, but this is the last thing we have, and I just thought it was really cool. I saw it pop up on the local news here in Boise. We've got our first wildlife overpass under construction, and it looks like it's a nuclear facility. It's so cool.
Where is it at?
This is on State Highway 21. I'm not quite sure where that's at. I just kind of saw it, and I grabbed it real quick when I was
That's on the road to McCall. I bet that's on the road to McCall.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. But it's cool. It's cool to see more of that.
Yeah,
it helps improve the overall habitat. The
biodiversity. Yeah, the small creatures that won't cross a road is amazing. The number of tiny creatures that you don't, when we talk about the endangered species list, we talk about grizzlies. Right? If you want to name, 5 endangered species, you probably can't. Right? The grizzly's one of them, but there's 1,200 names on that list.
Yeah,
and some of them could do better if they had a place to cross, because they literally travel 2 feet in their lifetime. And they can't do that if that's in the middle of a road.
And one of my favorite things that I remember talking about in my environmental science class, which I took in 2003.
Yeah. So why back? Yeah.
20 years ago, this fall,
yeah,
I started school.
Yeah.
But I remember my instructor, Dr. Simkin, talking about, how when man encroaches on wildlife, we start dividing up these big swaths of land that were once freely run by the animals, and then it starts to hack at that biodiversity.
Yeah.
And so I remember there being a conversation, a cool discussion around what can we do to bridge these gaps. And that's literally what these will do. They'll bridge the gaps between these divisions we put down with our roads. And you see it, that wildlife wants to return. As soon as these things get open, we've seen them open quite a bit, I think in like Nevada, particularly California, I think maybe in Utah, maybe in Colorado. But as soon as they're opened up and as soon as they're finished, the animals are like there immediately.
Yeah.
They don't hesitate. It's like there's something in them that knows, here I can go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's good to see. It's good to see. And I like how they have this extra 9-foot fence for a mile before and a mile after on both sides, because that makes them that drives them even further to not cross that highway, and it saves. I'm sure it saves lives. I'm sure it saves lives,
humans and animals alike.
Yeah. So all right, is that it? Is that it for
that's it? The next thing that happens is hunting.
Yeah.
So happy hunting.
Oh my gosh. Have a happy elk season. I tell people happy elk season like I do Merry Christmas. And that's exactly my tone. When I say, hey buddy, happy elk season. Happy elk season. I'm saying Merry Christmas. It is my holidays. Do not mistake my enthusiasm for expertise. I am mere enthusiast. I want to point that out, because I talk very enthusiastically. I'm not an expert. I've killed 2 elk. On that does not make me an expert. Anyway,
on that, happy hunting. We'll see you soon, right?
Happy elk season.
Be well.